doing, friends? You guys are the quietest audience. It's so weird. We're at a fucking metal concert, man. You can be as loud as you want, Stockholm, Sweden. Let me fucking hear it! It ain't a library. It's all right, man. You guys need to drink some more? You're fucking Swedes. You have iron livers. You've been drinking since 11 this morning, right? We like Sweden, man. You know, we have toured, I think we've toured with more Swedish bands than we've even toured with American bands. And I remember when I first started listening to metal, one of the bands that came around from Sweden was this band called Torch. And they put out an EP called Retribution. And I know most of you never heard that record, so it's okay. You go, woo! Torch! Because you probably never heard of them. But if you have, that's awesome. But I was in Northern California growing up, 16, 17 years old, and my friend had talked me into being into a band because I was pretty introverted and kind of shy when I was a kid. And he was like, you seem like you're the singer. You should be in the band. Sing for us. And I'm like, okay. So he entered us into this talent show at a Holiday Inn. So my very first concert ever was at a Holiday Inn. And we performed a song by a Swedish band called Torch off of the Retribution EP. And I told this story, I was at Spotify today, and I told this story. And I'll never forgot it because it was like little girls singing like Kumbaya and, you know, America the Beautiful. And then all these other people, and then came us, a bunch of like long-haired dudes, and we're playing this totally obscure Swedish metal song. And I just remember the very first note that we hit. And it was all older people, like older parents and grandparents. I just remember the very first note that the guitars rung out. Everybody in the audience went like that, and then stood up and left. I was like, and it was nothing against Torch. It was just the power of heavy metal. It was too loud, it was too ugly, it was too abrasive, and I never forgot that for as long as I lived, man. It was a cool moment, and we continued to be in a band, and pretty soon we were playing backyard parties all over Fremont, California, and we were playing songs by bands like Exodus and Slayer and Metallica. And these were just these little bands that played in clubs back then, like as big as this. And they would do, you know, just that. And then we were these kids about 50 miles away from it who were just channeling all of this amazing thrash metal music that came out of the Bay Area. And little did we know, this music that was coming out of our backyard would go on to change the fucking world, man. I remember as I continued to grow listening to music, you know, you started listening to thrash and then you want the next thing that's heavier. Like, what's heavier than thrash? And I remember I was reading a Kerrang magazine, and they had just reviewed an album by a Swedish band, and the album was called Left Hand Path. Yeah! By the mighty, mighty Entombed. And I tell you what, it was such a fucking great review that I was like, I gotta hear this fucking record. And I remember me and my friend walked to BART, and we took the BART train 50 miles to the record store, because that's what you did. Before Spotify, you couldn't just pull it up on your phone. You had to drive or take BART 50 miles to a record store and pick it up, and we picked up Left Hand Path by Entombed, and it fucking blew my mind, Stockholm. It was one of the heaviest records I had ever heard. It was one of the funnest, coolest, darkest, most fucked up records. And I want to give a shout out to our friend LG, who's in here right now. We've had the pleasure of taking one of the finest bands to ever come from your city. So be proud of them, man. Be very fucking proud. LG! I wasn't being proud. Be fucking proud of them. That is the power of music, man, that this Northern California boy, 6,000 miles away from Stockholm, could get turned on to this fucking record that would somehow channel out through Machine Head and all the things that we've done. And that's why music is so fucking important, man. That is why music is so important. And I really want to take a moment to thank everybody in here for coming out to this show. Because you're not coming out to see a DJ with a fucking laptop, man. You're coming out to see 4 human beings play music from their fucking heart and their soul. Not because we want to, but because we fucking need to, Stockholm. If you know the words to this next song, I want you to feel free to sing them as loud as you want to. Be louder than me if you want to, Stockholm. I don't give a fuck, man. You're at a Machine Head concert. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Ladies and gentlemen, from our album Unto the Locust, this song is called Darkness Within.
Softest valley, depression heavy in its way. How my body aches to me and sing its final eulogy. My songs will love you evermore, and though the road back is once more, I see the damage head I've done in search for redemption, but I'm just a broken man. So close out to understand how the madness shattered me off on the stage. Ended me, I scream out loud, the skies above. Listen, you were left alone. I struggle not to fall from grace. I sing the hymn of my disgrace. Revealed God feels to all pain. Savage monuments to attain freedom from all the sins and the sin. Lest we drown in the darkness within.
the same fucking head.